Greetings, everyone. My name is Sabrina Lowery, and I am your hostess with the mostest on this International Women's Day. We are here continuing our celebration of Women's History Month. It is my absolute honor to be here with you, and I hope that you will tag a friend and tell a friend that they do not want to miss out on this amazing virtual summit. Today, we are being very intentional about our messaging. Our message is to accelerate action for women equality. All of the years that I have been a mother, a grandmother, a serial mompreneur, all of these things mean that we are just Jills of all trades. And I would like to welcome you to our very first International Women's Day Summit. We have a fantastic presentation here for you all today. And I want to make sure that you know that we are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. All of our guests will be sure to share their information, and we want to know where you're tuning in from today. As we kick off the program, let's take a moment to welcome our guests. We want to do our introduction starting with Melanie Wilder. And next, we have Maria Thorpe. And we have Audrey Becky Chambers Robinson in the house. Next up, we have Dr. Omotalani Olosenyani. I hope I said that properly. We have up next Shanice Cleckley and Andrea Smith, y'all. Let's just clap it up, virtual claps for everyone here today. And I am so grateful for all of you and what you stand for. We are here to honor your legacy while you share your her story. So let's go ahead and give all of our attendees an opportunity to get comfortable and relax. We will go for 1 hour with you all today. And as we get started, I would like to present this video to you all. Please stand by and take a look at this presentation. International Women's Day is an annual event. It happens every March 8th. If you want to learn more, please visit internationalwomensday.com. All of our guest speakers today are phenomenal women in their own right. And as I mentioned earlier, they will be sharing their herstory and making history on this very special day during Women's History Month. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, Sabrina Lowery Enterprises, LLC, and Legacy Realty and Management, LLC. We also want to be sure that you all subscribe to Sabrina Lowery's YouTube and connect with all of our guests. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's talk about it. Progress is too slow. Number two, we are addressing the global setbacks as it pertains to women. Number three, we're all about inspiring momentum for change. Number four, we are tackling structural inequalities. Five, let's focus on some impactful solutions. Six, inclusivity and intersectionality are crucial. And number seven, a timely call for accountability. Yes, that is what we are talking about here at the International Women's Day Summit. Clap it up, everyone. I want to now take this opportunity and let's go back into the broadcast and let's bring up all of our individual speakers so that we have an opportunity for them to introduce themselves. So, ladies, as I bring you to the stage, I will call your name and no particular order, maybe just as I see you lined up, and we are going to introduce ourselves. There we go. Let's get started. Maria, let's bring you into the broadcast. There you go. Introduce yourself to everyone.
Good afternoon. I'm so excited to be here today on this International Women's Day. My name is Maria Thorpe. I am a wife, an engineer, the mother of two, an author, a mentor, a speaker, and an entrepreneur. I am the co owner of the Waldorf Chess Club, where I work with our youth as young as 5, providing them opportunities to build courage, strategic plan, and to think strategically. My career has been defined by my passion for leadership, mentorship, and innovation. I am committed to fostering diversity in engineering and empowering underrepresented groups to excel. Whether I am developing groundbreaking initiatives, mentoring aspiring professionals, or just building stronger communities, I embody what I call courage, grit, and a commitment to leaving a legacy. Thank you so much.
Awesome, ladies. Clap it up for Maria Thorpe. I am so honored to have you here with us today, and we are celebrating you. Next up, we have Audrey Becky Chambers Robinson. And if you will, please introduce yourself to the world.
Well, pleasure to be here. Very, very excited about participating with this wonderful summit on National Women's International Day. I am the president and CEO of Anoma Healthcare Concepts, and I am just a community advocate for making healthcare better through healthcare IT. I am an advocate that wants to change things in the world and all over to save lives through robust and innovative technology. I call myself a servant to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem and bring everybody together as one. So changing lives, committed, and just loving what I do in the community. I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, and I'm just a dear ear to anyone that needs it. Let's save the world one by one. Thanks for having me, Sabrina.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Becky, for being here. It is absolutely my pleasure to celebrate you. And next up, we have Dr. O, as she is so famously known. Please welcome to the stage and introduce yourself to the world.
Hello, everyone. I am Dr. O. Well, Dr. Omotolani Olasoye. So you see where the O comes from. I am your favorite tech doc, like I like to call myself. And I like to say I'm the she and Oshi's Tech. I am the owner and founder of Oshi's Tech. We provide professional services from high schoolers on up. Right. There's students who graduate from high school and they decide that they want to go straight into their careers rather than going to school or taking a gap year. So I help facilitate that transition to wherever they want to go in life. Also providing professional service to those who feel like they're already executives, right? And they hit a ceiling and they want to go past that ceiling. Yes, I do gear a lot in the majority of my services to women because we need that extra, I want to say that support that I didn't have 10 years ago when I entered tech. So I'm providing that support now to any and everyone. And yeah, I'm a new mother, a new doctor, and that's just me. I guess I want to say, yeah, I'm Dr. O, everybody.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. O, for being here. It is our honor to celebrate you. And next up to the stage, we have the fabulous Shanice Cleckley. Say hello to the people.
Hey, people, how are y'all doing? My name is Shanice Cleckley. I am the CEO and founder of Melanin Innovations. I'm a woman who wears many hats. I have the title of mom, grandma, founder, daughter, wife, but at heart, who is Shanice? She's a nurturer, she's a trainer, she is a woman after God's own heart. I am excited to be here and excited to inspire the woman in you to be international and fabulous as well.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for being here today. We have next up the fabulous, the one and only Andrea Smith. Welcome to the broadcast.
What a wonderful introduction. It makes me smile. My name is Andrea Smith. I am an IT project manager. I've done consulting for about 25 years in the healthcare field. I am a mother of three, I like to say of two different generations. My children are 34, 32, and 19. I am also a momager. Many of you may not know, but my son is an aspiring Broadway actor, and he's actually auditioning for a Broadway show as we speak. So I wear several different hats, but I'm just excited to be amongst you all ladies today.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for being here. And it is my pleasure to honor you. And next up to the stage, we have the beautiful Melanie Wilder.
Thank you for that introduction. Hello, everybody. My name is Melanie Wilder. I am the CEO and founder and chief designer at The Wilder Shop. We are a digital branding agency based out of Detroit, and we aim to help businesses to establish or elevate themselves in the digital space without breaking the bank. I started this company, started as a project of love because I was a stay-at-home mom with multiple health issues and wasn't able to work a traditional job. And it has snowballed into this beautiful agency that has helped so many different business owners to establish themselves and figure out how to bring customers in without breaking the bank and without spending a whole bunch of money and cutting out all the noise. And I'm so blessed that I got the chance to meet Sabrina and that we are here celebrating this International Women's Day together. So thank you so much for having me here.
Awesome. It is my absolute pleasure to honor you on this International Women's Day. And next up to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, we have the fabulous, multi-talented, I should say, Dr. Joanna Bennerson. Please welcome to the program.
Thank you, Sabrina. I want to say Happy Women's Month. Yay! I am Dr. Joanna Bennerson. I am also known as Joanna Bella, poet at heart. And while I work in the IT industry, at the core, I want to see people be their best selves and to be the leader that they were meant to be in their own lives. So I am an inspirational author and a motivational speaker. I have 2 books out on Amazon right now. One is called Pinnacle Goddess Principles, Awakening and Unlocking Your Inner Power. And I also have a book of fiction called Calypso's Longing, A Woman's Odyssey of Love, because we all go through that journey of love while we're here on the earth. But I look forward to chiming in some more as we go along. Thanks, Sabrina.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, ladies, so very much. Dr. Joanna, it is my absolute honor to welcome you and celebrate you on this International Women's Day. So what I would like to do now is a little bit of what I call round robin. And round robin is more like a fireside chat. We're going to allow our audience to give us any comments, any questions that they may have on this Women's Day and how they might want to connect with all of you because of your leadership, because of your authenticity, but more importantly, because of your journey. This month is all about women, but on this day in particularly, it is all about equality for women. And because of the climate the political climate of the world, not just the United States of America, but this program is reaching the masses, including all of our international connections. So let's do a fireside round robin, and we're going to talk about what gets you fired up about Women's Day or Women's History Month as a whole. Maria, we're going to start with you.
Well, thank you so much for that question. What gets me fired up? There's so much. Narrowing it down to just one. For me, it's mentoring the next generation. And the reason I say that is because someone helped me to get where I am today. And I feel just as strongly about helping the next generation to do the same, get them to where they want to be. I call it, let me help you engineer your success.
I love that so much. And what I would like for you to do, Maria, is I want you to toss the mic. So that's what keeps the conversation engaging. So you get to set who's next up to the mic.
All right, then. Well, Shanice, I would love to hear what gets you going on this International Women's Day.
Well, thank you very much. I would say the biggest thing is seeing growth. When I see growth in the women that I mentor, in my daughters, and know that the love that I have for them or whoever I'm with is passing on to make good citizens in this world, to make sure that people, these women are doing what their passions are and living within their womanhood, then I know that they're not denying themselves the greatness and fullness of who they are. So seeing that growth and seeing that passion that my flame ignites in their flame is what gets me going. And I'm going to pass it to Dr. O.
I'll take it. I'll take it. So what fires me up? Honestly, being celebrated. I don't think women are celebrated enough. To be honest with you, we have all of these milestones that we put before us. And when we hit those milestones, we're like, okay, on to the next one. Celebrate that milestone. It might have been small, tiny, big, huge. However, you got to be celebrated, right? And as an individual who didn't celebrate herself for for about 30 years, I never had a birthday party. I never had oh, congratulations, you graduated. It wasn't really until I earned my doctorate where I was like, you know what? I'm going to start celebrating myself because I deserve it. Nothing is too small, right? So that's what first of all, this day, this month, is to celebrate all the women in tech. Like, clap for yourselves, pat yourself on the back because you did it. You're here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and toss this over to Miss Audrey.
What gets me fired up? I'm always fired up anyway. But what gets me fired up is just making a difference in the community. I'm fired up about leading a healthcare IT company because I look at it as through the eyes of a mother, having sons, having daughters, just being responsible and making a difference in the community and encouraging someone and being a mentor and being a great leader so someone can look at me and reflect and be inspired. So I get fired up for people getting inspired and just moving forward, not staying stagnant, and just looking at the bright light and encouraging others to just keep going till you can get to that bright light. So that gets me fired up, not looking at the low and whining and just keep on going till you just see the light. That gets me fired up. Thank you.
Awesome. Who would you like to toss it to?
I would like to toss it to Dr. Joanne Bennerson.
Oh, okay. You know, it's interesting because even as a little girl, I didn't understand why women had to do things like this. It seems like at the beginning of time, men and women, the female energy and the masculine energy were balanced. And somehow over history, it became unbalanced. And so it fires me up to say, let's do this. Let's get things back to balance. Women should be celebrated on an ongoing basis, on an everyday basis, as well as men. And let's just do that. Let's work on that.
I love that so much, Dr. Joanna. That is a very, very good point. It's going to help us get into the next part of our conversation. But who would you like to toss the conversation to next?
Well, I think there's one person left. Go.
Yeah, I think I am the last one. Yeah. I honestly, there's a lot that kind of gets me fired up, but one thing in particular is being able to kind of pave the way for so many others. If you are like really in the throes on social media and you hear the phrase generational curse breaker, I really resonate heavy with that. I came from a single parent household and I watched my mother sometimes work up to 3 jobs and put me through college. And it was her. I mean, it was, we were in the throes of it together. And actually, she's actually watching this broadcast live. So it's like, and now I'm paving the way forward for my daughter. And it's huge because this isn't something that, I got to see growing up. I saw my mother, working her behind off, working her way up. And I mean, she's an executive assistant, like she's working for a CEO right now. And it's huge because I remember when my mother was more so like working with just customers and she worked her way up. And it was so inspiring to see women in the throes of doing something just at home alone. And then now I get to be around this community of women who are doing the same thing and we're all right here with each other. And it's just so inspiring to be able to be in such a room with wonderful women that inspire me to keep going, and then to inspire my daughter to let her know you can do whatever you want to do. You don't have to just stick to something that one person is telling you. You can whatever, and she's even like, yeah, I want to do this business and that business. And I'm like, yes, let's do it. Like it's so encouraging. And just being in spaces like this makes me even more fired up to just be blessed to be here.
I love that, Milani. Thank you so much. And we have the fabulous visionary author, Kenyatta Powers Rucker, tuning in with us today. Happy Women's Day, sis. We are honoring you as well. Thank you so much for tuning in to the broadcast. We are always inspired by you and your phenomenal leadership. Ladies, let's shift gears now. It's all about the women. And sometimes we like to have men as allies in the workplace and personally. So I would like for us to do another fireside chat about how do you use men as allies, both personally and professionally. We're going to toss it to Dr. Joanna.
How do I use allies professionally and personally? I use men as allies because I see them as people I can collaborate with. I view them as my contemporaries, and I learn from them as I try to instill whatever expertise or knowledge I have to them also. I think it's really about you have your strengths. Let's work with your strengths. Let's gain momentum from that. And then I have strengths. How can you use that? And that's the same, especially my background has been accounting and also in IT, I've been a project manager. In accounting, we have something called GAAP, which is generally accepted accounting principles. So you have a set of principles you have to adhere to. In project management, you have the GAAP. You have what exists and what you want to exist. And the GAAP is where you set up the requirements, the specifications for what you want. And I think when I use both of those types of constructs, it gets me to be able to express to my, the people I work with, men and women, it gives them something that they can take away and understand what I'm trying to express and how we can get to the end goal. So I use men in that way, in a collaborative way, so that we can all reach the finish line.
Oh, I love that so much, Dr. Joanna. And Andrea, I want to apologize and bring you right back into the conversation because we missed your response on the last question. So jump right into the conversation and share your feedback.
Okay. So you want me to give you both answers in one quick?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I think what really gets me about Women's Day is like what Milani said. She was spot on for what I was about to say. My history coming up, being a single parent, I was a single parent, not by choice. And so the struggle of trying to make ends meet. I got saved at an early age and found Jesus at the age of 19. And so my world really turned around for the better. I had older women who took me alongside, taught me how to pray, taught me how to interact with the opposite sex because I didn't know how to do that, right? Taught me how to be a woman of God and how to carry myself. And she used to say to us, it won't be like this always. And so today they are no longer here. And so now I sit in that seat and now have to give back to the next generation. And so seeing life as a full circle, even as the Bible tells us for the older women to teach the younger women, I'm excited about this room of women here where we can celebrate each other and we're not competing against each other. We all have unique gifts and talents. And so that's what really gets me about women, is that the world says sometimes that the women can't be in the same room, but I've seen a difference. I know that there's a space in the kingdom where women can really flourish and work together. Now, how I use men, they are my brothers, right? I don't have to compete with them because they have a very unique gift and call as well. And so a lot of times, even in the dating scene, because I am still in the dating scene, let's make that known, they do help me. They help me a lot of times with advice. My brothers are the first ones to kind of screen anyone that I'm dating, to making sure, that I'm going down the right track. And so I love my brothers. I don't compete with them. I always try to uplift them and encourage them with words, because a lot of times that's what's lacking in our community, is lifting our brothers up and speaking words to encourage their hearts and their spirits, to let them know they are what God called them to be and that they can do it. So
yes, that was a mic drop. Did y'all hear it fall on the floor? That was beautiful. And I'm so, again, apologizing for the last mishap, okay? So, Shanice, we got you fired up, sis. How do you use men as allies in your world?
Well, when you asked the question, I had a thought, and I said, I better not say that in mixed company because I love my husband. So, but I will say that my husband has given me the grace to be able to lean into my femininity. There was a time in which I felt that I I had to do everything for everyone. And having him to be my counterpart in our marriage, to when work with me emotionally and physically, and in my work life, I'm able to now have an even more balanced life with him as my companion. He has given me that freedom to be the type of woman that I want to be. Also, in the workplace, I lean into those gender roles, I would say, or even the personality aspects that I don't necessarily possess, because I don't want to. Everyone is different. And there are men who are out there who have certain characteristics that I just don't have as a woman. And when we come together, that makes a cool team. That makes collaboration wholeheartedly well-rounded and gives diversity of thought. So working with people, working with men, working with my husband has given me this fullness of my womanhood that I could not have done without them being there.
Oh, I love that so much. Oh my goodness, Dr. O, I know you have a thing or two to say about this, sis. Let's hear it. I love your story. So I want you to share how you work with men as allies in your life.
Okay, so Shanice, I definitely got to repeat when you said, I love my husband. Okay, because I'm telling you, that man came up in my life and turned it 365 around. Okay, I know he turned it completely around. So my husband actually has a media company, right? And I have this robust personality where I can be in front of the camera and I'll just, go with the flow. It is what it is, right? And I have and I've always had this hard time with actually showing up for myself on camera. So that's when my husband came in. Right? He brings the video, he's the videographer, he's the photographer. He'll say, babe, get dressed, let's go do a photo shoot. I'm telling you, I got a full portfolio just from this man. He'll set up my camera gear. I have lighting. You know, Sabrina, you said you're in the studio. I'm in the studio at my desk. Okay, that my husband set up the lights. So if it wasn't for him, honestly, I would not say that I would be as far as I am in my career and personally if I never met him 2 years ago. It's only been 2 years. It feels like it's been 10. But I would say that. And then when it comes to my professional career, so my team is actually predominantly male. I was brought onto the team to have a different have different insight, right?
Well, DEI, gonna call it DEI. I don't care about broadcast lines, but we gonna talk about DEI.
Yes. I was brought in and I have a different outlook on things, right? I'm a very nice person whenever you're speaking to me, but when we get into the professional side of things, I can be strict and I can be stern, and that's not what they had on their team. So when they brought me in, it's like, okay, you brought me in for this. So what am I taking from you? Knowledge, definitely knowledge, knowing how to fill the room without filling the room, if that makes sense. Right. With my personality being so big, I do say what's on my mind. And it took my I want to say he's my mentor, he's my boss, but my mentor to say, hey, instead of walking in the room and just feeling it, right, with your with everything you have to say, how about we strategically learn how to speak to the stakeholders, right? Speak to your counterparts, speak to your colleagues. Let's speak to them in a way that is not overbearing. So that's what I learned from my male counterparts. You know, I'm a woman. I'm kind of I'm there. I understand. I'm kind of aggressive with my speaking, and it took a man to actually help me pull it back and say, this is a professional setting, so let me teach you how to be a little bit more professional with these individuals. So yeah, that's how I use them.
I love that so much. Maria, I know Miss Engineering has quite a bit to say about the men in her life who are allies. Let's talk about it.
Well, thank you so much for this question. You know, as I listened to the other ladies speak, I really wanted to focus on the fact of being an engineer. I am the first Black female engineer in my organization to be in the role that I am in. And so, right there should tell you one thing: I'm usually the only woman in the room. And so, because of that, I had to learn how to integrate myself, to collaborate with these individuals, and to have them a part of my learning circle, and so that I could advance, so that I could move forward. But the one thing I learned how to do with the individuals in my space is to leverage their ability to let me get in these rooms that I need to be in.
That's right.
Because if there's no one that looks like me in those rooms, I must have the door open. But believe me, when that door is open, I'm taking a few more in with me, because I don't want to be the only one in the room. I want others in there with me. And as a mother of two young men, you know, I call us a family of STEM. I'm a STEM lady. I got some STEM sons, and I got a STEM husband. So we support one another. My husband he lets me be me, but he is my greatest supporter, my biggest cheerleader, a great dad to our sons. And together, we are walking through this door, this life, this journey as people of color. Got nothing to do with DEI, just people who are trying to do the best they can to build a legacy for their family. And so with that, I thank you for your time.
Oh, I love that so much, Maria. Thank you so much for that, Audrey. I have got to hear Miss Becky's response to this
Oh,
because
me?
every meeting that we have, we always seem to find out that Becky is the only lady in the boardroom.
I
Let's talk
tell
about
you,
this.
I have to admit, I just love being in the boardroom with men, right? In male leadership. I have been blessed to be promoted by men and mentored many, many times, and women in leadership. I think I put myself in a position for success where I don't say, okay, I'm walking into a room and I'm a woman. I'm a human being, right? And because of my love for the male species, whether it's professionally or personally, I just enjoy having the male figure in my life. When I'm not driven professionally in a boardroom or doing business things, I am very, very domesticated. I love to cook, sewing, doing projects. I don't like people to see me as this executive person. I mean, whether it's male or female, let me cook for you, let me serve you. Things that I enjoy doing is all through love. And I just think if we have more love in the world, we can bring together men and women communities and we can move the needle and just cut out all of the fluff and just lead in love. And when I lead teams, they have a mother, right? They were born, they have a mother. So I try to be a positive figure and you gain respect from the respect you give to individuals. You can't react to people's negativity. You bring in a light, and even though they may be mean or evil sometimes, you can't stay up all night with it. So for my purpose in life, I partner with men professionally and personally. I have brothers, I have a wonderful brother, I have play brothers, I have an uncle. My father, I was the baby. I was his baby, youngest child. And my grandfather, I adored him. So for me, it's a necessary part of my life to have strong men in my life that show me love and support. So it's an honor for me to be in that space and to support that. And that's
Oh,
what
I
I.
love it. Thank you so much. Andrea,
Mhm.
come into the conversation. I know we had a little bit of a delay there. And Melani, you're up next.
Okay,
Melani,
I was gonna say, oh wait, it is me now. Ha ha ha. I knew that because
Andrea's
I'm.
going to come up on the next. Exactly.
Yes, yeah, I got. See, so because I was also thinking because like my story was like very similar to Shanice, but then something popped in as we were talking, and the reason I actually started in tech was because of my uncle, my mom's brother. He was actually going to school to be an engineer and was building a computer like from the ground up. And he and I were actually just talking about this on Friday because I recently bought myself a Mac, and I was saying to him how I felt so great to be able to talk to somebody about tech stuff and about like CPUs and things, and they knew what I was talking about because he's literally what jump started me being in this. And it's just like when I think about like my whole entire journey into tech and where I am now, I wouldn't be where I was if it wasn't for the men that were in my life. Like, my uncle and like, my grandfather, while he, didn't do huge tech stuff, that man's brain is brilliant. And it's just like people like them who, I got to see different men in the workplace that reminded me of my uncle and my grandfather and how brilliant their minds were and just how they were unconventional and how they were thinking. And that was the approach that I've always been taking whenever it comes to my career and how I'm moving, just like questions of why, how, like, how does this work and how does that work, which is what really gets the gears going, so to speak, in tech. So it's just, I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for those men who helped me get very unconventional. And even, my husband now, who, while he's not an engineer, that man's brain, he sees things that I don't necessarily see. And it's always great to have such great men who see things from different perspectives that, sometimes we might have missed. So that's how I love to have them as allies here in the industry.
Oh, I love that so much. Thank you so, so much. I'm going to shift the conversation. Andrea, I want you to unmute yourself. I would love for you to kick us off for our next fireside topic, which is all about this hashtag, I accelerate action, right? And as we are celebrating International Women's Day, tell the people how you do and will continue to accelerate action for women in business, in the workplace?
Good question. So I'm reminded of a group, and actually how I found and met you all through Kenyatta. It was through the Black Women in Project and Program Management Facebook group. I actually now lead their study sessions for their PMP. And we've built a community from those women just coming in, just coming on weeks. So I do it Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Didn't do it today because I was preparing for you all. But yeah, I do it Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And we've built a community. Some of the women are looking for jobs. After we study, sometimes we have girl talk. We actually are all going to the conference that she's having in September to actually meet each other because we've been studying for so long. The other way is I'm heavily involved with my church. I use my project management skills for my church. I do attend a church that's 2 hours away. And so that is a commitment that I have. I've been called to that house, the Gathering Place. Shout out to the Gathering Place, DC. But I use my project management skills there as well. And so, and then I think that's the biggest way that I'll continue to accelerate the action. I'm a part of also the college ministry there because I got saved through a college ministry. So me giving back in the form of working and being a builder where we actually reach out to the college students from Howard and the universities around in DC that actually come to our church. And so I'm excited about staying connected to the next generation and having a footprint there once my time on earth is up.
Oh, I love that so much. It's that intentionality, y'all. We have some resonating themes that are webbing and weaving, and I love it. Dr. Joanna, you are up next. And we have a comment from one of our live viewers this evening. Hello, empowered cousin. We always love the men allies that support us in our lives, ladies. Let's just clap it up to all the men that are tuning in to this live broadcast today. Dr. Joanna, how will you continue to accelerate action today and forward?
Well, I want to thank my cousin Howard for for that message. And I also just want to thank my son, Ali Mike, and my grandson, Amara, who's a student at Tuskegee. He's in the ROTC program. And I have two granddaughters, Alana and Ava. And I mention them because I want to accelerate so that in the future, people can rely more on their mindsets and how they think of things. Having a strong mindset propels you forward with whatever vision you have. And in that vein, I'm almost like a natural writer. I've been writing poetry since I was like 13 years old when my parents passed away. That was my gift to kind of help me with my healing. But I've also enjoyed seeing great speakers like Les Brown and Tony Robbins, and they've helped me a lot in my personal life because I didn't have a lot of other support. Like a lot of some of the women here, I was a single mom, as a teenage mom. And so I had to kind of grow myself. So over the years, I decided one of the things I want to do, one of the legacies I want to leave behind is to provide writing that's easy for people to grasp and get the concepts easily. And also to be able to speak to people in a way that it's not over their head, it really resonates with them. And so this past year, I was able to be a part of the Les Brown Academy for Speakers and got certified in that vein, as I know you have too. But that really helps me to be able to push that message forward, whatever that message is. If it's positive and it's going to help someone in their growth, I'm all about that.
Oh, I love that so, so much. And you know what I love about it is the fact that you are forward thinking, right? Some of us are stagnant in our thinking and we're kind of ever present, if you know what I mean. There are a lot of people that they just cannot forecast their life. They can't plan, right? They're always an off the cuff kind of living their life person, right? Impulsivity is the word that I like to use, right? So let's continue the conversation. Who would like to jump in next?
I think for me, I'll go next. I think for me, taking things into action is being a role model, eventually telling my story through writing, working on a project, Shattered But Not Broken, to tell my story of how I triumphed through many situations, by getting several college degrees, by raising my daughter, even after my mother, and I had several deaths back to back in a divorce. I think I want to, put things into action. I want to tell my story and how if you have actionable and focused steps in life of how you can be successful. So I want to continue to do that. I do a lot of mentoring with young and old. People confide in me a lot. And I think the main thing pulling into action is continue my journey as a serial entrepreneur to help people have more financial stability and eradicate poverty around the globe, is what I want to put into action, to be there for individuals that need mentoring and direction, and that are unique like myself. They worked, several jobs, even at some time in between hospitals and taking a nap in parking lots and working really hard to put my daughter through private Christian school, and really smiling and keeping that inspiration and being that light. So I am proof that you can get to where you are if you're committed. So I am an example and I lead by design. And that's what I want to be, a trailblazer in society to encourage the next person. And
I
that's
love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that so much. Thank you so much, Becky. Who would like to jump in next? I know we've got some more time. We've got about 10 more minutes, ladies.
I'll jump in.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, did you want to go?
You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay. I was just gonna say, because I haven't been able to do as much as I would like, just because like life, and being a mom of two young ones, because I've got a 6-year-old and he'll be 3 next month. But I know that, one thing that I absolutely love, there's a nonprofit of a good friend of mine, and it's called the Well Initiative. And she provides resources to women specifically. And it's like, I know that with us, we actually helped with their website. And it's just like, I want to do more like that and partnering with strong women, especially here in Detroit, because there's a bunch of different things that's going on here in the D that, sometimes we don't even know about. And there's so many things in terms of community that could happen, and I want to do my part in the Wilder Shop to be able to connect with women and be able to accelerate that action to let women know that they're not alone, because there are so many, especially moms that, in this day and age feel like they don't have support, especially if they're by themselves. And it's just like with us being, me being a millennial, and it's like, what can I do technology wise to reach you, to let you know there's some resources you can have. There's some ways that you can excel. It's not like how it was back in the day, how, information was harder to get out. And it's just like, that's why I know I'm here with my gifts of technology to be able to reach the masses. And that's what I know that my Accelerate to Action is going to be, is making sure that I'm using my gifts, my voice, especially because there are things that Spirit has gifted me in this lifetime that I am not using. And I know that that is going to help propel things forward. So that is what I'm going to do to help continue to accelerate that action.
Oh, I love that so much. I thank you so much, Milani. Dr. O, please join us.
Okay. So I've just been sitting back listening to all you beautiful women and been getting a little bit emotional. And that's because all of you have such inspiring stories, and my journey is just beginning, right? I'm a new mom. I'm just now stepping into my full, and I'm not even going to say full potential, but into my potential as a entrepreneur, as a boss lady running things. Like I'm actually doing it, right? And I tell that to our visionary Kenyatta all the time. Like, I've been placed in a community of women that I did not know exist out of the blue. I have no idea how I got here. I promise you. I do not recall. I don't understand. I just remember it being on my calendar and me saying, you know what, I'm just going to jump in just to jump in. So something that Ms. Becky said, you are going to accelerate it's by design, right? So I am currently designing my journey forward in passing whatever I designed for myself onto others. Even up into this step, whether it's a class, whether it's applying for jobs, whether it's redoing a resume, I take what I've learned and what I'm doing, and I try my hardest and my best to give it to the generation that's coming after me. Even people my age, right? I do currently have a mentee that's a part of BIC that is Blacks in Cybersecurity. I currently have a mentee who we're the same age, but I am taking her on her journey to land a job in GRC. I'm helping her, I'm giving her the resources and everything that she needs. So I would say by design, I'm now giving her the blueprint on how to move forward. So I guess that's how I'm accelerating, right? I'm taking what I'm learning, I'm taking what I'm being given, I'm trying to understand others and take their pros and cons and pass it on. So I guess that's how I'm accelerating.
Oh, I
Can I step in there for 1 second, Sabrina? You know,
absolutely.
I listen to these stories and they're absolutely fantastic. And one of the things I mentioned earlier is that, I do what I do because somebody did for me. And one of the things that I did to accelerate action for our young folks is to create an opportunity for them to get experience relating to the career fields they're interested in. So I've been able to offer scholarships and summer internships so that our young people can come and work in my labs. I do shadow assignments, I do mentoring. And this I do because so many folks came to me and said, I don't have anything on my resume. I don't really have an experience. Or I looked at resumes and I'm like, this will not get you from point A to point B.
That's right.
And so it was an opportunity for me to give back by providing summer internships for our folks in STEM. And just recently, working to create a new program where once they graduate, they can go on to get their graduate degrees while they're working. And so this has been an action that I've accelerated because it's needed more than ever now. And so I am just excited to be able to share that with you all so that you can share that with your community. Thank
Oh,
you.
I love it. Listen, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to our International Women's Day celebration. Danielle, thank you so much for your feedback. I truly appreciate you tuning in. We are all so grateful because it is truly all about how we empower other women. So, as we close out the conversation, I just want to leave you all with a few of my final thoughts. Number one, I am the biggest giver. I will say it again. I am the biggest giver. My heart is always to help others. I have been that way for my entire life as an
Mhm.
only child. So it was one of those lessons that my grandmother, who is still living to this day, praise God for her life, taught me you cannot be a selfish woman. A selfish woman could never protect her family, her children, or herself because she would even neglect herself. Now I'm getting goosebumps. I need y'all to think about that. I need y'all to let that resonate. Was that a mic drop? I see y'all. I see y'all. And so that is something that I stand on. And so, as I give back at this phase in my life, my give back is to my granddaughter because I now have the opportunity to raise another shero. I raised three sons. And so now I get to be that influencer over this young, beautiful girl's life. And so I stand on a promise that I will lift as I climb. I will mentor. I will educate. And I will celebrate women for all of my life. I think somebody needs to write a pledge. That should be a pledge all need to raise our right hands and we all need to say this pledge. So let's go ahead and I'm going to start top to bottom, ladies. Okay. So Maria, Becky, Milani, Dr. O, we're going to go in that order. I want you all to leave us with your parting remarks. Be sure that you share any offers and your contact information. Maria?
Thank you so much for that. You know, we have, as women, have had opportunities and experience that only we can share with others. So I would leave you with this: be a mentor and get a mentor so that we can continue to cross collaborate at the generational level. One thing and one way I do that is through my books, my mentoring of young folks, and I have the Waldorf Chess Club where I bring students as young as 5 in there to show them their ability to grow and learn and strategically think and plan. But most of all, to build the confidence in anything what they want to do in this life. So if you're in this area in the DMV and you want me to bring your little person in and teach them all of this through the game of chess, stop by the Waldorf Chess Club. And that's waldorfchessclub.org. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Sabrina.
Thank you so much, Maria. Becky?
The main thing that I want to leave with the audience that's really participating and getting this experience, this one of a lifetime experience. The main thing that I would say that I want them to hear these words: don't give up. At times when I wanted to give up, the love of individuals, my mother and others, pushed me to heights. And I would have never thought that I would be here today. But I did not give up. Get up every day, inspiring yourself. If you don't have anybody to inspire you, inspire yourself. Listen to a podcast, listen, read a book, do something, but keep going one step after the other. Progression, not stopping, failure is lessons learned, and to keep on going and get in good circles, positive circles, and get out of dark places. And I'm here to serve like I've served in ministry for many, many years. Don't stop praying, don't stop learning, and don't stop smiling and loving, most of all. You can reach me at Audrey Becky Chambers Robinson and Facebook, LinkedIn, any of those forums. And on my website, you can contact me, audreybeckychambersrobinson.com. And keep shining that light and keep moving. Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. Melanie, jump in.
That's so hard to follow up with. Oh, goosebumps over here. But just to follow up, it just, besides, don't give up, know that you are not alone. I, as somebody who has struggled with mental health for a very long time, one thing that the devil kept doing was putting me in the dark and making me feel like the world was crushing me. And to know that there's support, there's love, and this world is worth fighting for. There's so many things that we are here, and our purpose is greater than we know. So keep reaching your purpose, keep doing what you're doing, and stay rooted in your prayers. Stay feet firm on the ground. That's something I had to keep telling myself, especially in light of like life. But my last parting gifts would just be, we are launching our website on next Friday, the Wilder Shop. We aim to help businesses to establish and elevate themselves in the digital space through websites, social media, SEOs, graphics. We have digital downloads that we are going to be premiering. So please head to our website so that you are not missing out on those exclusive discounts that are going to be just for the unveiling of our websites.
Oh, I
Thank you
love it.
so much,
Thank you
Sabrina, for having me again.
so much. Oh, it is my honor. Thank you so much, Dr. O.
Hello, hello, hello. So first, I would like to say thank you so much for having me and celebrating me. And thank you, ladies, for allowing me to share this platform with you. It's been an amazing hour and day. You've started my day. I just want to say I can be reached on LinkedIn at Dr. Omotolani Olasoye. Also, you can find out about your newest best-selling author at omoola.tech. Those are my platforms, and I would like to leave it. This is my only piece of advice that I have to give. Be yourself, because everyone else is taken. And I stand on that. You can never be anyone else in the room but yourself. Thank you.
Oh, I love that so much. I can't type fast enough. Oh my goodness. Because everyone else is taken. Oh my God. I am definitely going to share that post. Thank you so much, Dr. O. Andrea.
Thank you.
So I just want to give a shout out to Lauren Kelly of Black Women in Project and Program Management, because that's actually where I met Kenyatta. I was just thinking about, how did I even meet Kenyatta? It was through that group. And so, and now we're here with this new book. Our book is available on ebook, is right now available. And our launching of our book is going to be at the end of the month. And so you can read all that great information on my website, AndreaPSmith.com. One piece of advice that I want to leave with the ladies is our time here is temporal. And so the power of prayer is so, I think it's overlooked sometimes. I think we think it's a shot in the dark almost. But if we understood really that when we talk to the Father, he really is listening. Pray for the next generation. I feel the prayers of those who have gone before me, even in the space that I'm in. So never stop praying.
Oh, I love that so much. Thank you. Dr. Joanna, close us out, sunshine.
Thank you, Sabrina. You have such great energy. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I want to say thank you to Kenyatta Powers Rucker. Through her is how I came to this podcast, and I appreciate being a part of this. You can reach me at author_JoannaBella at yahoo.com and at visionarypoet.com. What I wanted to say is, you guys know me from my poem Forward March, which just says to everybody, keep going, right? And it's about your mindset. But with these wonderful stories here today, I wanted to just take a minute and say one of my other poems, and it's called Look Around, See How Far You've Come. Look how far you've come. You took the time for me to accomplish your goals, to seek out your dreams. Look how far you've come, whether you were supported or even if you were alone and turned away, you were sure to carry on and required yourself to dig deeper anyway. Look how far you've come. To market you go, reap what you sow. You did that while helping others without letting your energy slip low. Look how far you've come, creating that needed energy, but not running anyone else's race. Instead, using resilience and hard-working efforts to create this new space. Look how far you've come. Turn around and look over your shoulder. Wow, so many steps taken and even crushed some boulders. Look how far you've come. Say it loud to yourself, not just a whisper. I'm so proud of you. Say it louder in the mind and in the mirror. I'm so proud of you too. Look how far you've come. Take breaks. Rest when you're tired, but keep striking. Keep going. This is your journey. Keep hiking. Now look back, look around and see how far you've come. Look ahead and forward march because you are not done. Look around. Testify today to how far you've come. Do it. Look around. See how far you've come.
My goodness. We are truly blessed and highly favored women, just powerful, poignant, just fabulous. And I want you all to just remember how much you are loved. And in case no one has told you on this day, I love you. I'm going to say it again. I love you. And I need you to love on yourself the rest of this day. We have some fabulous comments. Maria has her 3 P's. The be positive, y'all. Have your plan and you must be consistent. We have feedback, y'all. Flo Jenkins is my mother, coming all the way from Miami, Florida, tuning into the broadcast. Shout out to the woman who made me who I am today as a single mother at 16 years old, raising her only child at that time, right? And so I want to give you a shout out, Mom, because in case I haven't told you today, I love you and I thank you and I appreciate you more than you know. So I want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to stay connected, right? And so this is your opportunity to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You will have the opportunity to connect with these ladies. They will go back after the broadcast and comment and receive your feedback. And not just that, but to connect with you. And as they have all shared their contact information, this is the call to action. The only way to accelerate action is to take action. It is a verb that means do something. So I would like to conclude our program. I want you all to know that today is a very special day. We have shared our history and celebrated Women's History Month all month long. We want to be sure that you have an opportunity to see one more time in the broadcast who these phenomenal ladies were. So let's bring them in. Here we go. Thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate you for tuning in. Continue to celebrate Women's History Month all month long. Shout out to Dr. Ebony Gray, who could not be here with us this evening. Fabulous, ladies, fabulous. You all have done an amazing job. And as we mentioned, we will have more coming your way. So stay connected with each of us. And Shanice, thank you so much for being here. We're sorry you had an emergency, but remember the talking points of the day: progress is too slow. Address those global setbacks as a woman leader in your organization. Be sure to inspire momentum for change in your organization. Tackle those structural inequalities. Let's keep the DE and I. Focus on impactful solutions, everyone, and inclusivity, intersectionality, and we'll close with that timely call for accountability. Ladies, it has been my honor to host you and my pleasure to honor you. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. We hope that you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.